Hi guys. So I'm working on this video. I told you I was gonna finish up with with Bougie and Roxy, grooming them at home, and I did get them done. This right here is Bougie before I ever bathed her or anything, and you'll see me go through the process. You've seen me do it many times before, but I thought I'd do a little bit of something different. The part you haven't ever seen me do, which I've never done on Bougie or Paris, is cut their hair at home. So today and yesterday was my first time to do Bougie and Paris. And I would recommend, if you've got the time and the wherewithal and the energy to do that, I would recommend it because I think your dog will feel more comfortable. That it's a lot of times people can't take them to the same groomer their whole life for many reasons. The groomer might retire, the groomer might not want to trim your dog anymore, or they might stop grooming altogether and do something else. There's just many reasons why you might not be able to send them to the same groomer, and it'd be easier on them, and it's actually cheaper on you if you can groom them yourself at home. I had a few reasons why I did it this time. I just wanted to see if I could do it. I thought I might groom them more myself and then sometimes take them to the groomer. Maybe like every other time if they're okay with that. If they're not, I'll just groom them all the time. I haven't talked to them about that. I mean, I'm not unhappy with taking them to the groomer, but I want to be able to do it, sometimes so that they can just be home with us, And I've got everything I could possibly ever need. I've got a grooming tub. I've got 2 sets of clippers, one that runs on a cord only. They're Andis 5-speed. I've got the new ones, the Artero HIT clippers that I just got, cordless with 2 spare batteries. I've got every kind of blade you could need, 30 blade, 10 blade, 7FC blades. I can't remember. I've got every blade. And I've got a new set of guards that are stainless steel, which I highly recommend that you use those. I started out with plastic blade guards when I used to do Roxy. Roxy never went to the groomer till she was 4 years old. I just did her myself, and bless her heart, she would have some horrible haircuts. But I did it myself. I just felt like I wanted her to be home. And excuse me, I'm getting the hiccups. But also, I just want to give you a little information. If you do decide you might want to groom your own dog, there's some tips that'll make it easier on you that I kind of found out the hard way. It's really hard to groom a dog that's not clean or brushed. And as you know, you need to brush your doodles every day anyway. And I'm going to basically just be saying about information about doodles because, I've never groomed any other kind of dog. But you brush and you bathe and you thoroughly get that dog dry. And I recommend putting show sheen on their hair because it's so much softer and so much more controlled with the clippers. I don't mean it makes their hair stiff. It doesn't, but it just makes those clippers sail through that hair and it'll do what you want it to. And if you get a set of shears, get the whole set. Make sure you get chunker shears and blending, thinning. Some people call them thinning shears. The chunkers have a bigger space between the teeth on them than the blending ones do. But I find myself using the chunkers more than I do the blending ones. I've gotten all this stuff over time, and I ordered it off of Amazon and different places. But if you start out with one certain kind of clipper blade, get a number 10 blade because you can do their belly with that. You can do their paw pads if you feel comfortable with it. And you can snap a guard on there to use with them. And also, if you do want to do their paw pads, don't be digging down between their paw pads until you know what you're doing because you can cut them. And also make sure you've got the dog where it can't run away. Like, make sure it's not going to hurt itself. Don't put it up on a table and let it fall off there and break its leg or something. That's why I've got a grooming table. I can put my dogs on this grooming table I got. I got it off of Craigslist years ago. And I think I paid $75 for it. And it even pumps up like a beauty shop chair. And I'll have Pet Dad to put them up there because they won't jump up there. And I do try to pick them up, but I have back problems, so I have to be careful about that. But I have put them up there. And Roxie, I feel like, would jump up there for me. And I could train Paris and Bougie, but I just never have. So if you're just going to be starting out to, doing nails, I'll tell you a couple things I know about that. If you're going to Dremel the nails, just barely tap that Dremel on their nail and then turn their foot upside down and look at that nail. And when you start seeing that black dot in the bottom of the nail where you've been tapping it, stop right there. If you can see the quick through the nail, if it happens to be a white nail, it's okay to look at the nail and see where you're getting to the quick. If you want to make that quick go back because the nail has gotten so long the quick grows with them, then you need to do those nails about every other day or every 2 days. In my opinion, this is not advice. It's just my opinion. Do your own stuff. I'm not a professional. But that black dot you see in the bottom of the nail, that's the quick you can see through there. And it looks like kind of like a core in a wart. Also, every little bit, just barely hit that nail with that Dremel and then touch your finger on it. And if it's getting friction heat, it'll stop the heat on it. And another thing I put them in the grooming tub and I wash them. So after you give them a bath, their nails are soft. That's when you need to Dremel their nails if you don't want to have to touch them, the Dremel to their nails for a long time. And with these long-haired dogs, it's so easy to keep that hair out of the way if it's wet. And also, I put their feet up on the edge of the grooming tub while they're still in there and they're still in that noose and the door's shut on the grooming tub and they just have no choice but to stand there and put their foot up there. Now, we've had it where we've had to do the WWF wrestling with them, to do them in the living room floor, and Dremel them. And I mean, I'm being funny, but they're not that bad. But, they are so much easier if you do them in the grooming tub. Also, if you've got them in the grooming tub, you can get that dew claw nail, which tends to want to grow all the way back into their skin if you don't remember to do it. Some dogs don't even have a dew claw, but mine, Roxie does not have any dew claws, but the other two girls do. It is so easy to get that hair out of the way and just put their foot up there on the edge of that grooming tub and hit that Dremel on there and get that nail like it's supposed to be. Okay, so also don't ever try to cut a dirty or matted coat. Now, I said that I wouldn't do that on Paris, but I did do it the other night just to see, because those Artero clippers are supposed to even work on dirty coats. And I tried it, and they do. Also, I'm alsoing you to death here, but if you get Artero clippers, it says in the ad that you can interchange Andis 5-speed blades onto the Artero, and you can. But for some reason, I tried to switch out onto the off the Artero because the blade was warm, and I had forgot I had blade coolant in there. I tried to put some of those Andis blades on there and use that while the other one was cooling off, and they wouldn't cut the dirty coat. So, again, I'm not trying to sell Artero clippers, but that blade that comes with those, oh my goodness, it sails through dirty hair like nothing. And then when I got them clean, it really went through their hair. So, I'm probably going to put my my Andis 5-speed clippers that's probably not been used, but, I'll say 10 times in my life. They're professional grooming clippers, but I'm probably going to put them and all those blades online and sell them on either eBay or Craigslist, because They are for someone that doesn't have to do serious doodle hair, and I'm going to let somebody get them. They've got 5 speeds on them, and they are really good clippers, but they're not Artero clippers. So Pet Dad ordered me 2 more clipper blades for my Artero. And over time, I will probably collect clipper blades for my Artero. I like to have a 30 blade. That's a surgical blade, and you can snap a guard over that. I don't recommend that for somebody that has never done a dog. You can cut your dog if that clipper guard comes off or anything. I just wouldn't do that. Just use a 10 and a 10 blade and put you a guard on top of it. So as you can see in the video, Pet Dad decided to bathe Roxy today. He just tried out the tub. I guess he'd given me a break because I kept complaining about my back hurting. My back gets tired easy, and this 3 dogs 3 days in a row was a little rough on me. So anyway, back to the dogs. Don't cut a dirty coat or a matted coat. Definitely don't wet a matted coat if you can help it. I'd rather say get some clippers you can do a matted coat with before it's been washed, and just be careful with the dog. Don't cut the dog. Get the mats off. Just use a number 10 blade and do the best you can, or a 7F. I think it is. I'm not looking at my blades right now. And pay attention to your dog's temperament when you're grooming them. My dogs don't give me any trouble, but you know what happened yesterday? I forgot to film anything of me cutting Bougie's hair. And I did it twice. I did the first cut after her bath, and I just did it. I was in the house. I just had her to get in front of my chair. I've never cut her hair ever, and she's never been cut unless she was up on a grooming table. And I don't know if that's what happened, but she was horrible. She wanted to run away and lay down and pull her paw back from me. She wouldn't let me hold her paw and cut her hair on her legs. She was not aggressive. None of them are aggressive like that. But she did not want to let me cut her hair. So I had to kind of rough cut it and wait till Pet Dad got home. And he put her up on the grooming table, and she was great. He just stood there and loved on her until we saw what she did, and she did fine. So I recommend doing it in the same place that you would do anything, if you're going to take care of your dogs. So in a nutshell, here's some things you should do in order if you're going to trim your dog at home. Keep your dog brushed regularly. Even do that in case your groomer is going to want to do it. You don't want to leave mats in your dog's hair. Trim your dog's nails. Either clip them with the clipper right below the quick. Watch that quick or that black dot I told you about. Keep an eye on your dog's skin for anything that might be wrong with their skin. And make it an enjoyable time. And check your dog's ears inside and pluck any stray ear hairs in there. You can use ear powder. You can get it off Amazon. I've got that. You just put a little bit of that in there, and you can grip the ear hair and pull that hair right out there. And they don't seem to feel it. Don't mind it. I just pluck and pull it out. And there's not usually much in there. And then don't give your dog a bath too often. I give my dogs a bath about every 2 weeks. Every 3 weeks, that's about it. And that's just because they run and play so much in our 2.5 acre yard. So that's about all I've got for tips on grooming. There's Roxy. When she got finished with her groom, all I did was her face. I blow dried her with show sheen on her hair that you can get at Amazon. You can use it on horses or anything. There she is, finished. I did the top of her head, her face, and her chin, and the hair out of her mouth. And at a later date, I'm going to go over her whole body because she didn't really need her hair cut all over. She hadn't grown out enough. And there she is laying down. She's worn out from her groom at home. But rather than stand there and tell you how I bathe my dogs for the 20th time, I just thought I'd give you a little bit of what I do when I groomed Roxy at home. And now that I did it this time with the other 2 girls. So y'all have a good weekend, and click like and share and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye. Be blessed.